All right, here we go. Again, just continuation of yesterday, just remembering the rules. All right. William, tell me number two.
Number two is, number two is 8, a to the fourth, b to the fourth, f to the fourth.
Easy. Anybody have any questions? Austin, you're up. That's it?
Oh, no, 8, sorry.
All right, any questions with number 4? All right, number 6. How did you get -6?
I got it.
Shh, hold on a minute. That's okay. Go ahead and tell me. Now look, here's what I want to help everybody with. Put up here, look up on the board. I want to tell you, I'm not going to do 18 squared and then divided by 6. So please look up on the board. First of all, I know the answer is going to be positive because this negative squared is a positive, correct? And then a positive times a negative is a what? So I know the answer is negative. Now please watch. Instead of doing 18 times 18 and then divided by 6, I just did 18 divided by 6 first is 3. And then 3 times 18 is 54. All right. Now, again, I don't care if you use your calculator, but I'm telling you, mental math is helpful. All right. So now tell me how many m's on the first one. If I simplify that, how many m's? Shh. M to the fourth, and then what? Good. And on the right side, it would just be, yes. So now your final answer. Beautiful. Anybody have any issues with that? Anybody have any issues with that?
No, it's not a variable. Wouldn't it be?
How about this? Instead of correcting me, why don't you ask me, why is it 54 on the top and not on the bottom? That would be much better. All right, because I'm probably going with my answer.
Wait, how do you get 5 from the
Isn't there a 1 here
Oh,
and a 4 here? That's better. What?
Why is the 54 negative?
Because negative squared is a positive, and then a positive times a negative. Anybody else on that for a question? All right, Trimble. 8. What did you get?
1 over 15. And then a squared. And then b and 6.
Perfect. Now, if you want, I would want you to write this also just to make sure that you understand those two things are exactly the same. All right, those are exactly the same. All right, Jensen, here we go. Tell me about 10. I didn't hear you. So what is the, it's okay, Jensen. What does the negative mean to do? Right, reciprocal. That's what that means. All right, so you simply take the reciprocal of 2/3. When you take the reciprocal of 2/3, it becomes 3 over 2, and now that's squared. All right, that's how you handle the fraction being raised to a negative exponent. It just means take the reciprocal. Yes, 9 over 4 is accurate. Anybody have any questions now with question number 10? Yes.
Why is it 9 over 4?
What's 3 squared?
Well, 9, yeah.
Would you have to do
Do I have to do what?
like minimum or simplify or maybe?
Well, I simplify because I know what 3 squared is.
No, I mean like, would you make 9 fourths, 2 and 1?
No. No, we don't. Look, in math, we don't use decimals and we don't use mixed fractions. It's always improper. Always. All right, Sienna. Yes, 4 to the 5th. Now, some of you, of course, already know that's 1024. If you know that, that's good. If you want to check that on your calculator, feel free to do that to make sure you can use your calculator, but that's good. All right. When you're dividing, you're subtracting the exponents. Notice I didn't change the base. All right, which brings me to number 14. Rivers.
Okay, so you have to change the negatives.
Yes, that's the first thing.
X to the 4th, z to the z squared, and then z to the 6th over y to the 8th, y to the 5th, and z to the 4th.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is perfect. That's my recommendation. All right. Look at negative exponents and move them. All right. Now, finally, what do I do?
So, okay, so x to the 4th, and then you have to add the z's, which gives you 8, and you get the minus 4, so z to the 4th.
Yeah. So what he's saying is I did this and this, which became z to the 8th. And then I had z to the 4th. So I subtracted and got z to the 4th. And then
Y over 13.
y to the 13th. I know what you mean. That's excellent work. If you know that, you're probably going to do well tomorrow. All right, that's not bad. All right, just knowing the rules. All right, Max, help me.
It would be 5x to the negative 20.
How about Max? X to the negative 20. Because listen, right? 1 to the 5th power just means 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. It doesn't mean 1 times 5. You with me on this? All right, carry on. Times.
X to the 12,
Yep.
and then
Y to the what?
8.
Yes, sir. All right, now what do you want to do?
Add
Okay, so what do you get?
the x to the 8,
X to the what?
negative 8,
Thank you.
and then it's like
Now what? Move the negative exponent. So,
y to the 8 over x to the 8.
yay, y to the 8th over x to the 8th. Come on, Max. You can do this. All right, you have any questions on that? All right, good job. All right, anybody else on number 16? All right, Gray, tell me about 18.
So it'd be 4
Yep,
f to the 8th,
yep,
g to the 10th,
yep,
over 9 f to the 4th, g to the 2nd,
brilliant.
and then it's just, or yeah. Wait, so then it's negative 5 f to the 4th, g to the 8th.
What?
Wouldn't you?
What is this? A fraction.
Oh,
Now, what you did was you mixed up the rule for exponent with the rules for numbers. Do you agree? 4/9 is not an exponent. It's just a fraction. So I want you to leave it as what? 4/9. Now tell me about the F's.
you subtract
Yeah, so what is it?
f to the 4th,
And then,
g to the 8th.
yes. And just for my own, I want to make sure you write 4/9 f to the 4th, g to the 8th. Those are exactly the same, but I'm just writing them both ways to remind you of that. You good? Anybody else with the question? Yes, ma'am. Oh,
From the original problem,
Wow, I missed you. I didn't see you. I'm sorry. How did I get to this?
Yeah.
I squared each term. 2 squared is 4, and then power to power we multiply. You with me? Anybody have any questions with that? What?
Not with that. I was just wondering if I could do
No. Ava, you are up, kiddo. Sorry, I missed you. 20. Tell me what 20 is. Yep. So tell me. Yes. Negative what? This right here and this right here. Are you agreeing with me? What do I do with those exponents? No. Right? When you multiply, you add exponents. Write it down. So what does that become? X to the what? Good. Right. So what am I doing now? All right. Now, you got to know that rule, right? Make sure you make a note to yourself. Power to power, multiply. When you multiply, you add. When you divide, you subtract. Those are rules for powers. All right. Tell me about 22, please. You are amazing. 1 over. Now we're just going to go ahead and put 9 squared. All right. And then 9 squared, of course, is 81. Thank you very much. 1 over 81. All right. Moving forward. Number 24. All right. Sean.
Oh, okay.
24, I'm on. Negative exponent. What do I do when it's negative exponent? We just do the reciprocal. So I want you to put open parentheses, and then the reciprocal of negative 3/4 is negative 4/3. You hear me? Now what you're doing is you are squaring that. Yes, 16 over 9. Because a negative squared, because it's in parentheses, is a positive. Thank you very much. All right, Emiliana, you're up. 26. Tell me what to do. What? Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You're smarter than you think you are. All right, come on. You can do this. All right, the first thing I want you to do is to highlight the 8 and the 4. What is 8 divided by 4? Say it. You with me so far? Come on, that's easy. 2, you got this. Now, if it has a negative exponent, you move it. So what am I moving? Right, where does that go? On the, that's right, in the numerator. So there's already a c cubed. I'm going to bring up the c to the first. Now, if I'm looking carefully, what happens to the d squared and the d squared? They cancel out. Now you're asking me about f to the negative 3. What does that do? You bring it up. There's already 4 up there, and now there's another what? 3 more. Now everything is gone from the bottom. So if you want to put a 1 at the bottom, that's okay, but it's not necessary. All right, now, Emiliana, tell me the final answer now. 2c to the 4th.
Wait, but what if the C and the 1C, wouldn't that like add to the two? No, I mean like not the S.
No, I'm not. I'm multiplying here, kiddo. So it's 2 times, if anything, it's just 2 times 1. Now, come on now. Make sure you're with me. Do you understand that or not? Do you want me to say it again or are you good? All right. So now tell me about the F's. Yes. All right, now look that over and tell me if I'm clear. You sure? All right, what?
How come you divided the 8 and the 4 instead of subtracting? I thought you would.
No, I'm just asking you, what does that say?
That says 8
And what is 8/4? They're not exponents. That's what some of you keep making your mistakes on. They're not exponents. 8/4 literally means 8 divided by 4. You with me now, right?
Yeah.
It's not an exponent, so we don't subtract. That's the mistake everyone is making. These are numbers, not exponents. These are exponents, not numbers. That's how I want you to think about it. That's why we added 3 plus 1 and 4 plus 3. All right. Angelina, tell me about 28. Is what?
1 over 9.
You are amazing. Thank you, girl. 1/9.
And then, can you minus -2 minus -2 is 4.
Now, look what's on the top here. And look what's on the bottom. It's it cancels, right? That's how I want you to think about it. It just cancels. All right? Anything over itself just cancels to a 1. All right? So now what do I do with this g to the -5?
You add it to -3.
So what is that?
You do the 8.
Right. Now, what I really want people to do is I want you to do g cubed times g to the 5th. All right. So she is 100% correct. And that would be g to the 8th. Now, what's happening with h5 and h3?
It's just 5 times 3. So it's
That's brilliant. You with me on that? Anybody else have any questions with that one? What?
So why did we times the G's?
Why did we multiply the g's? I'm not sure what you're saying. Where did I multiply?
Well, on top, like you put G times G. Wouldn't it just be G2? Because yeah.
All right. Good question now. Come on. You said yourself earlier it's a negative exponent. Right? So I move it to the top.
And then
Right?
yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Anybody else with that?
should I try to do the 6 divided by 54 and divide by decimal? How do you change it to a
Math, enter. What?
What's the 1?
I don't know what you mean. What is the 1 for?
Where did you get the 1?
I need you to 6 over 54. What is 6 over 54? What is that? There you have it, right? Anybody else? Max? Connor, you good?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. $30. Oh, are you up? Yeah, Tucker. Right, sorry.
For this one, I got -9 x divided 7.
Exactly. Very good. Divide numbers, subtract exponents. That's right off the ACT test. Hard to believe. All right, 32. Connor. So I want you to tell me right off the bat, what is x to the 5th times x to the 4th? Why is that?
Because multiply by exponents.
Do you?
So then you add
Well, test is tomorrow. What is the rule? When you multiply, what do you do with exponents?
you add
Add them. All right, that might be something you put on the test tomorrow. Multiply variables, you add the exponents. When you divide variables, subtract the exponents. When the exponent is negative, you move it. Power to power is multiply. Those are the rules. So again, what's x to the 5th times x to the 4th?
x to the 9.
X to the 9th. So I know it's not E, D, or C. Now do the y's.
It's y plus 6.
Right. So the answer has to be
A.
A. Mr. Danzy.
Okay, yeah. So 34 would be B
Why?
because 6 times 4 is 24.
That's right. Power to power, you're multiplying. Very good. X to the 24th. All right, here we go. 36. Do you remember the formula for area of a triangle? You are amazing. Area equals 1/2 base times height. Area equals 1/2. What's the base? And what's the height? All right, now this one's a little annoying. I'm just going to rewrite this. All right, so let me see if you can do this now, kiddo. Look at the numbers. 1/2, 5/9, and 3/4. What can reduce? Yes, the 9 becomes a, and the 3 becomes a. Very, very good. Very good. All right, so now if I'm just multiplying the numbers, what do I end up with? What do I get? In other words, 1 times 5 times 1. Yeah, that's not too bad, right? Those are just fractions, reviewing those. All right, now how many x's on the top, kiddo? Yep, how many on the bottom? So what does that leave me with? X to the what? X, so where's that going to be? On the top, right? Now listen, just to, yeah. X to the what? Yes, good. Now what about the y's? Yeah. I'm okay with that, right? That's hard. That was a tricky one. All right. Anybody have any issues with that? Nobody? Yes, Will. I'm on 36 right now. All right, does anybody have any questions with 36? Nobody else has any other questions with 36? Okay, for whatever reason, I'm going to jump back to 32. What are you asking me about 32 for? What do you think it is? That's what I'm asking. So you're telling me when you multiply variables, you multiply the exponents. I don't think you're going to get a single one right tomorrow. Do you agree with me? When you multiply, what do you do to variables? Yes, come on, come on, come on. I'm on question 32 and you're multiplying variables. Right? You hear me? William, I'm giving you a little bit of a hard time because I know you're going to do well, but you see what I'm saying? At the top of your page, make sure you write the rules and then refer back to them. All right, here we go. 38. Lily, tell me. You remember how to find area of a square? Yeah, and in this case, it's exactly the same. So what is that? Yes, thank you very much. You can't really see that. I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully that's a little better. Anybody have any questions with that? Any issues? All right, here we go. 40. Brilliant problem, if I do say so myself. Austin, what's correct answer here? What? I didn't hear you. Why? But is the negative being squared? Right, right. So this is a trick question all the way around, guys. I want everybody to write in here and make sure you're understanding me. That's negative 1/2, actually. Because what's the only thing being squared?
1/2.
No. Stop repeating information. You tell me, answer yourself. What is the only thing being squared? The 1. 1 is the only thing that's being squared there. The negative is not being squared and the 2 is not being squared. Now, if I put this in parentheses like this, now what's being squared? The whole entire thing is being squared. So now that we know this, now somebody tell me what the correct answer is. Now it's B. All right, that's a very good problem. Very sneaky. All right, let's check out 42. All right, here we go. Trimble. What is the answer to 42? C. Anybody else agree with that? Garbage?
I got
zero.
C.
Jensen, what garbage is coming out of your mouth today? Why?
He's a sheep. Part of the sheep on my sister.
All right, here's something interesting.
Wait, no. It's
Hunter's gonna interrupt me to explain. Okay, go ahead, Hunter. We'll take your word for it.
if anything to the 0 is 1
So column A would be what?
greater because it.
I'm asking you a question. What is column A?
Column A will end up being a positive 1.
Yes, it is. +1.
Yeah, and then
B would be what?
negative 1.
Yes, you are accurate. -1. So the correct answer is, in fact, A. It is A. Now again, notice the difference here, please. Is the negative to the 0 power in column B? Hello?
No.
No, it is not. The only thing to the 0 power is the X. Is the negative to the 0 power on A? Because it's in? Yes. So please look at that over. All right. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Nobody? All right. Now, listen, again, I'm telling you, I'm trying to make it easy. All right. I'm telling you, I type everything up on what? Microsoft Word. And then what I do is I just go in and change the numbers. That's it. All right. And I told you, all I do is I go into my old ACT and SAT tests and find the ones that have to do with exponents and just write them in. That's it. All right. So again, some of you, I'm a little upset because we did the rules and I asked you multiplying and you're, x squared times x cubed, and you're telling me it's x to the 6th. Right? That's just, you're not practicing. All right. So I know I have more time today, and it's on purpose because all I want you to do now, everyone in here is going to go and add the same worksheet and redo the problems. All right, that's what your job is right now. We're not talking, we are studying. All right, everybody import a brand new one, a blank copy. You have all the answers. And try it again. Do number 1, and then you look at your answer. Did that match up? Yes, it does. If it doesn't, put a star by it and do number 2. And then you go back, do the whole thing over, and check every one that you missed and redo all the ones that you missed over again. And again, until your brain makes the connection. That's how you study math. All right, that's how you're doing it. All right, now I don't feel like walking around and making sure that everyone put in a blank copy, but that's what is expected. Put in a blank copy right now and do the work. All right? Get to work. The end. Study. Take it over. I'm going to walk around the room and see what you're doing. All right, Xavier, did you hear that? Come on now, redo everything. All right? Practice. Do you hear me? Xavier? Please practice tonight. I want you to start out the new 9 weeks on a good note. Do you hear me? All right. Hopefully you can hear me, Xavier.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good rest of your day, buddy.